What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. I'm trying to come up with a good sign. Trying to think of a good sign. Tanner Poor, basketball got canceled due to COVID. That's all I know, man. I have no idea. I know it sucks. I was looking forward to the game. Would have been a tough one against Wofford. I was looking forward to it, though. Let's see. You guys got any suggestions? Any good sign suggestions? Let's see. Let's see. Got Rob. What's up, Phil? What's going on, everybody? Hey, happy Thursday. Just trying to come up with a good sign. I've got a funny one. Oh, here we go. I got one. Hold on. My handwriting is about to be terrible. Okay, I don't know if this will be funny or not, but the real MVP of the 2020 season was Jimmy Sexton. If you don't know who Jimmy Sexton is, that's Will Muschamp's agent. And if you don't know why I'm saying that, refer yourself back to the article that came out on yesterday in regards to how much money Will Muschamp is making from South Carolina. He is the real MVP of the season. He is the real MVP of the season, bro. It's just like wild how much money Will Muschamp got from South Carolina. It's absolutely nuts. But yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. Got a lot to get into. Obviously, podcast dropped this morning. The 2020 postseason award show dropped. Also, really good conversation, by the way. A good buddy of mine, Tyler McComas. We go all the way back to the Armchair days. If you guys even remember Armchair South Carolina and Armchair All-Americans, we go back to those days. He actually works in the Norman, Oklahoma market. He is a sports talk show radio host in Norman and a Sooners fan. So somebody who's really, really interested, or not interested, familiar with Shane Beamer. So I wanted to get his perspective, obviously his take on the hire, what he's learned about Shane Beamer since he's been in Norman. Some really good stuff, really good intel. And I'll tell you, it'll get you excited. It'll get you fired up for Shane Beamer. Because, again, he said a lot of great things about Shane. And, I'm really excited. So let's see. Andrew Bowers, how could you not at least give him a few votes on the award list? It's pathetic. Yeah, so the Doak Walker thing, whatever, man. I don't care. We all know how good Kevin Harris is. I don't need the Doak Walker to tell me, but it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous that just because you weren't on the list in the preseason that you can't be. I don't understand that at all. 843-790-3377, guys, if you do want to call in. As you can tell today, I'm in a much chippier mood. And for good reason. There's some things going on behind the scenes right now that I won't spill all of the details, but I will say to you guys, thank you. Because without you, this wouldn't be possible in regards to the merchandise. And the merchandise has been moving, and it's been a blessing to see. And there are going to be some bigger opportunities along the way for 110% sure. And like I said, once those things get finalized, I will let you guys know because it's really, really exciting news, not just for me, but for you guys as well, for the people that consume the content, buy the merch, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. So thank you, man. It's something that's developed, evolved over the last 24 hours. It's really, really exciting. Really, really exciting on the business side of things, for the growth of the business, just overall. Exciting for you guys, too. It's really good stuff. So like I said, once I have that confirmed, you guys will know. We'll make the announcement. But really, really fun stuff, really exciting stuff happening behind the scenes. Hunter Herlong says, so do you think Beamer brings in that highly rated 2021 quarterback? I don't know if he's going to be able to pull him away from Oklahoma. I'm assuming you're talking about what Tyler McComas was talking about on the show. I don't know that he'll necessarily be able to pull him away from there. I think more so he was just referring to the fact that Shane Beamer can go out and recruit an elite QB. And I mean, call it for what it is. South Carolina's had some great quarterbacks in school history, and we're talking Connor Shaw, Steven Garcia, Dylan Thompson. Yeah, but South Carolina's never been able to pull in like the Gunnar Stocktons of the world. South Carolina's literally never signed a 5-star quarterback. That's like baffling when you really think about it. Absolutely baffling. So again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls as well. If you do want to call in 843-790-3377, if you did tune into the podcast this morning and you want to give your thoughts on the award show, if you think maybe somebody else should have won some different awards, if you guys want me to go down the list right now, we can. For those that maybe missed it, obviously I put out the team MVP graphic on social media. I'm going to put out another graphic later today with everybody that won an award. Want to highlight all of those guys, obviously, and it's a long list. I mean, literally everything from offensive and defensive players of the year to rookies of the year to best moment, best guest, best game, comeback player, all that good stuff. Dove into everything. Also, on the merchandise side of things, because of high demand and because I wanted to do it, I'm very excited to announce, and I want to put it together. Well, you know what? Maybe we can put it together right now. Basically, we're going to drop a garnet and black version of the Shane Storm shirts because you guys like those so much. Again, we have the white one out right now. We're going to drop a garnet and a black version of the Shane Storm shirt. So again, if you like those, again, those turned out really, really good. And I can tell you that these new ones I'm making literally right now as I'm on here, they're going to look really, really cool. Like they're going to look awesome. So if you guys want to see them real quick, I could probably put these together in like 2 seconds. Yeah, but no, dude, I appreciate the love, man. Like I said, the support, the love, it's what helps drive this thing further and bring up opportunities like the one that we're presented with right now. That, again, like I said, for right now, I'm going to keep hush on, but you guys are going to know very, very soon what it is. Tim Dorn says Todd Ellis was the number 1 quarterback in the country. Yeah, but I don't think they had star ratings then. I mean, I think what his point was is, again, South Carolina's never signed a 5-star quarterback. So never signed a 5-star quarterback. So it just kind of, it is what it is. You've just never been able for whatever reason to get that 5-star QB on campus. So, Andrew Bowers, I'd love for him to bring a tight end from Oklahoma. The guys over there are big, fast, and can block very well. That's one of the new things we need in the offense. Yeah, I mean, you have Nick Muse, but dude, you just need all of the offensive playmakers you can get. Anybody on Oklahoma who's not playing, who's a good athlete. And if you listen to the podcast this morning, I talked to Tyler McComas about that. And, he said there's a few 5-star wide receivers that got on campus in 2018 that really aren't seeing the field. I'm like, hey, man, come on down. If you can catch the football, come to Columbia. You're going to have a chance to play, no doubt. So, Phil Harris says a lot of opportunities in the transfer portal and OU for Shane to pull in. I'm ready to see that great recruiter trade. I'm the same way, man. I feel you. Trust me. I feel you 110%. I'm excited to see what Shane can do on the recruiting trail, no doubt. So, Tim Dorn says Tannehill was also a major quarterback recruit. Yeah, I'm talking more so recent. Like, I'm talking star system. I'm not saying South Carolina's never pulled a really good quarterback on campus. Obviously, they have. But I understood what Tyler McComas was saying in the sense that Carolina has, since the star rating stuff came out, they've never gotten that 5-star kid. They've never been able to get that guy. So, I think with Shane Beamer, you might see him be able to do that. Carl Hudson, is there an outside chance that the Joe Brady rumors are true? If so, what are your thoughts? I mean, if that happened, that'd be great. I don't put a lot of stock in that. I know rumors have been flying around, and I mean, it is what it is. But I don't think those are. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Joe Brady is coming to South Carolina. I think he's got a really, really good thing in the NFL, and I think he's on pace to be an NFL head coach very, very soon. So I don't see that happening. But I mean, dude, I would be ecstatic if that were to happen. I'd be ecstatic, guys, no question. So. I'm trying to get this shirt made really quickly so you guys can see what it will look like. I'm going to drop them probably around 2 or 3 o'clock. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay. Here we go. Trying to do multiple things at once. Trent Strickland, who'll be the first commitment of the Beamer era? Not 100% sure because I don't even know who he wants. I'm not 100% sure. Will Golden, is Gunnar still committed? Yes. Yes. RJ says 5 stars are not the standard. DJ Swearinger quote. Yeah. Now, I agree. Hey, I agree with you 110%, man. Get guys in there in the building that want to be Gamecocks. They want to be Gamecocks. That's really what it's all about, man. Yeah, that's really what it's all about. Okay, guys. Oh, yeah, this Garnet shirt's fire. This Garnet shirt is fire, dude. Sorry, I just wanted you guys to see it like a little teaser. I'm literally making it right now. So, yeah, if you're calling in, by the way, 843-790-3377. I think I just missed a call. Should be good, though. Here we go. Let's go ahead and jump to the phone lines here. Yo, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you asking.
I wanted to call in and pick your mind for a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as far as us hiring a new coach, yeah, he has a past there. What in his past, besides of him being having passed at Carolina, what of his past attracted Carolina back to him?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he's a guy that's kind of been, in the position to take a head coaching job for a bit. I mean, the guys he's learned from, he's an offensive guy. I mean, again, who he's been under. I mean, I think a lot of it did come back to the fact he was at USC and they were familiar with him and they knew he wanted the job. They knew it was his dream job. But yeah, I mean, because when the coaching search started, people asked me, who do you want as the next head coach? I said, this is what I'm looking for. I want a younger guy who's a relentless recruiter, who's an offensive-minded football coach. That's really what I'm looking for. I would say Shane Beamer checks those boxes. He's worked under some of the greatest to ever do it. And obviously being at Oklahoma, picking Lincoln Riley's brain, and you think he's going to bring some of that system with him to Columbia. So, listen, to your point, though, I think that had a lot to do with it. The fact that he was at South Carolina, but it made his name pop up immediately. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, at the beginning of the coaching search, I mean, he was on my list of candidates, but Joe Brady was number one for me. Like, I wanted South Carolina to throw the money at Joe Brady. And, I think really too, man, once the former players started speaking out and the alumni, and we're talking about the greatest Gamecocks to ever wear the garnet and black, I think that obviously got his name a lot of momentum. But I mean, I think there's other qualities to like about Shane Beamer again. And I talked again to Tyler McComas, who's in the Norman, Oklahoma market, and he spoke to it. The guy's a relentless recruiter. He's passionate. He's very very relatable for the players. He's going to be that CEO type of coach, though, and he's been around some great coaches, and he's going to go out there. He's also cheap. I mean, let's call for what, I hate to say the word cheap, but he's also inexpensive, which means he's going to be able to pay his coordinators more money. You know what I mean? So, and that
was my next thing was, compared to what we were paying Muschamp and what he's getting paid. That's a big difference.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it speaks a lot to Beamer that he was more so focused in negotiations on paying his assistants versus him getting paid. And, from what I heard, honestly, from behind the scenes, even before he was hired, what I heard was that Shane Beamer's a guy that understands that if they win, they'll all get paid anyways. So that's what he's focused on, which I think is the right attitude to have. You know what I mean? Like, if you go win games, I mean, hell, Carolina was willing to extend Muschamp. I mean, they'll extend anybody, I think, probably if you win games. So, yeah, go win games and that the money will take care of itself. So.
Well, I appreciate you answering my phone call, and I enjoy listening to you. I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. You as well.
Bye. All
right, thanks. Bye. Yeah, absolutely. Really good stuff. I want to show you this guy. Somebody said, what about the Call of Doty shirt? Well, I can't really do that because you can't put players' names on a T-shirt. That is funny, though. I actually really like that. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Boom. All right, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377 here on a Thursday. Appreciate you all tuning in. Obviously, a lot to get into this morning's show. We talked award show, handing out some hardware. Also, great conversation. Tyler McComas, who is in the Norman, Oklahoma market, very familiar with Shane Beamer. It was awesome. Number one, just talking with Tyler McComas, because really good buddy of mine. Like I said, we go all the way back to the armchair days, but also just getting his perspective on Shane Beamer, the type of coach he is, the type of man he is, his characteristics as a coach. I thought it was really, really good stuff, and I think you guys will enjoy that conversation as well. Okay, do you guys want to see the Garnet Shane Storm shirt? I just finished it, and I think it's actually on the website. Yeah, it should be on the store right now. Here is a first look, and this thing is fuego, folks. This thing is absolutely fuego. All right. Let's see. Is it on this one? Yeah. Boom. Let's go. Tell me that's not fire. Tell me that is not fire, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me that's not fire. Yeah, any idea for a time frame on the OC-DC hires? I really don't have a time frame. I really don't. I don't know. I would think this would happen sooner rather than later, but I don't have a specific time frame. But yeah, there is the garnet shirt. I'll make a black one as well, but just want to tease that again. I think that is on the store. So if you guys tsus.store, you want to go there, check it out. It is on the store. So all right, let's get back to it. And you guys will see that on social media. I'll post them on social media immediately following this. Let's see. Traylon Hyman, 50-50 split of Kevin and Marshawn or ... That'll be interesting to see how they handle that. Because listen, what's wild to me, I think as good as Kevin Harris was, I still kind of believe if Marshawn Lloyd is the guy that you think he is when you recruited him, I think there's a good chance he's still RB1. And I know that sounds wild, but I think that speaks to the capabilities that Marshawn Lloyd most likely has. Again, I think it's going to be a 1A, 1B thing, no doubt. I don't know about splitting carries. I don't know how they're going to break it up, but it's a great problem. It's a great problem to have. You have two fantastic, and again, Marshawn Lloyd's never played a down, so he's got to go prove himself, but you feel like you've got two fantastic backs. Okay, so I mean, that is a fantastic problem to have if you're South Carolina going into next year. Jason Wilkes, anything from Ryan? A fresh start. He may stay. I've heard nothing on the Ryan Hilinski front. I have no idea what he's going to do. Listen, if he wants to stay and stick around and battle for the job, I have no problems with that. I'd love to see it. I'm just thinking realistically, I think South Carolina is going to go to a much more up-tempo spread type of offense. And I think Luke Doty, with his skill set, is a guy that fits that. I'd be very surprised if Luke Doty's not the starting quarterback next year in game one. So Fred Jenkins, I just purchased stuff yesterday. Now you pulling out the badass. Yeah, dude, keep it rolling. Got to keep the merch rolling, bro. I appreciate the love and support. Seriously, man. Colby Parker, make a Uric style winning is the minimum shirt. Nah, I don't want it. Nah, I love what Jay and them have done. I love the matter is the minimum shirts. Those are awesome. So I love that. So, Andrew Bowers, I saw some people say we can't focus on winning the East, just win games but I think our main focus besides winning games is to win the East. Well, if you win games, you have a chance to win the East. I think South Carolina's mindset should be try to win every single game you play and let the chips fall where they may. But yes, winning the East should be the goal for South Carolina. There's no question. Getting to Atlanta, and I think that's what Shane Beamer brings to this program. That will be the goal once again. It's crazy how it feels like it was just pure lip service when we heard beat the East, win the state. You didn't either. So I don't know what the deal was. Tyler Noel, Marty Smith, fired up today on Marty McGee. Can't wait for 2021. Yeah, that was awesome comments from Marty McGee. If you hadn't heard them, really good stuff. He kind of went into detail on Shane Beamer and the hire. And I was ready to run through a brick wall after I heard him. So I was ready to run through a brick wall. But again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Lot to get into here on a Thursday. Eric Snipes, 7 wins next year is reasonable in first year with schedule. We have thoughts on that. I think going 500 or better is a very realistic expectation for South Carolina. Tomorrow's podcast, actually, I'm going to give my way too early predictions for the 2021 football. It's never too early to start talking next season, right? I'm going to go ahead and give my way too early predictions for the 2021 football season, though. But yeah, when you look at the schedule, and it's going to go back to a normal schedule, we think and we hope. You have 4 non-conference games yet again. You say 3 of those should be built-in wins. I mean, Eastern Illinois, East Carolina, and Troy. I mean, that should be 3 built-in wins. Getting to 6 wins or more, in my opinion, is a very, very realistic goal, and I don't think that's an unfair expectation for South Carolina fans to have. So maybe 7, but I think 6 and 6 or better. Getting to a bowl game in year 1 under Shane Beamer, I think it's very, very doable. Yeah. So, but you guys will hear my official predictions tomorrow for 2021. My way too early predictions. So, Steven says, do you think we should get a new O-line coach? I don't know if it matters if I think we should. I think we probably will. So I don't think there will be, we'll find out in the coming days and weeks, but I don't think there will be many holdovers from the old staff. I really don't. Sean O'Brien, what realistic national ranking position do you think Shane Beamer can get South Carolina up to? Why would I put a cap on it? I mean, why would I put a cap? I don't know. Could he get him to be the number one team in the country? Maybe. I don't know. It's, it sounds crazy maybe right now, but we might be having a different conversation 5, 6, 7 years from now. You never know. So Chris says one upset next year. Who will it be? Beamer time. Well, you got Auburn at home again. I mean, maybe that one. I don't know. That's a good question. You got the Gators in Columbia. I think that could be one. I don't know. That's tough. Okay, Sean O'Brien, you're talking recruiting rankings. I think South Carolina, when all is said and done, because again, next Wednesday is the early signing day. I mean, signing day goes all the way till February. So by that point, after the dust settles, I mean, I think South Carolina can finish 50th. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but I think you're going to see South Carolina really utilize the transfer portal. I think that's going to be a big thing for South Carolina. So let's see. Brian says, who will be our number one wide receiver? We really need this position to step up. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Dude, who's going to be the number one wide out? I don't know. I mean, are one of these young guys going to step up? A Powers, a Wyman, a Jakari Caldwell? It's hard for me to judge that position unit or really this entire team until a new head coach comes in. Because like I said, guys, I think there's talent on the roster. I really do. And again, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. I've said this multiple times. I'd love to be a fly on the wall and hear what Shane Beamer and the new OC and DC and this entire staff thinks about the roster. Because I think two things are going to jump out. Roster mismanagement and lack of player development are going to just jump off the page at these dudes. Because again, I refuse to believe that you recruited a bunch of guys and they're all busts. There's just no way. There's no way they're all busts, in my opinion. So Phil Harris says Tory Gurley for wide receiver coach. I'll tell you what, I think Jason Barnes over at Dutch Fork would be a great hire for wide receiver coach. Why not? Guy played at South Carolina literally under Shane Beamer. He was there when Shane Beamer was there. Guy's doing a great job at Dutch Fork. He's obviously developing kids. He had Jalen Hyatt, who went to Tennessee. Why would you not bring him in? I think that'd be a great hire for South Carolina. Andrew Bowers, Rico Powers or Wyman, but heard Ortre could be coming back. Imagine if he stays healthy. I'd be open to it for sure. Yeah. David says, I'd like to see Jalen Brooks to step up and bulk up for sure. I believe he could be another Brian Edwards. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Tristan Dixon, a couple Oklahoma receivers seem like they're going to enter the transfer portal. Could help us out a lot. Yeah, again, I definitely think Shane Beamer is going to try to pick some guys out from OU. Hey, you're not playing? Why not? Come with me. Why wouldn't they? So, Tommy McClellan, any idea what we can run block so well but can't pass block worth of crap? I know Harris is good, but there's a huge difference in the two. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, it's obviously two different, types of blocking, obviously. I mean, I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know, but that's tough to say, man, because we're so good in the run game, but pass pro was atrocious this 2020 season. There's no other way to put it. So, RJ, have you seen the highlights of wide receiver Antonio Williams from Dutch Fork? We need him to come to Columbia. I have not seen that. We need anybody that can catch the football. I mean, at this point. So, anybody. Colby Parker just had a conversation with Tory Gurley, said the guys of old will be present and helping in the offseason running camps, reviving the legacy. Love that. Yeah, Tory's a good buddy of mine, and I don't doubt that for a second, man. I'm excited. The culture is being brought back to Columbia. So let's see. Jeremy Berry, I love the story about while he was interviewing for the job every day, Beamer would come home from work, his son would be blasting Sandstorm on the radio. Yeah, it's Awesome stuff. Just another one of the many great tidbits from that presser on Monday. Shannon DeWitt, who was retained from the previous staff. There's no announcements of anybody being retained. There's rumors that Connor Shaw will be. Beyond that, I have no idea. So we're all kind of waiting on that word. Terrell Scott, any word on Marshawn Lloyd recovery? I'd assume it's going well. I've seen different videos of him like rehabbing, but yeah, I mean, no news is good news in that scenario. No news is good news. I'd assume it's, I'd assume it's going well. So let's see. Yeah. So anyways, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. If you did not check it out this morning, the podcast, episode 336, the TSUS postseason award show for 2020. Also, great conversation with my buddy Tyler McComas, who's in the Norman, Oklahoma market, who knows Shane Beamer very, very well in regards to his coaching at Oklahoma. Great podcast today. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate the love, support, sharing the content, consuming the content. Means the world to me, and you guys make this what it is. So thank you so much. So Tanner Poor says, I go to Dutch Fork. He's really good, and so is Jalen Hyatt's brother, Devin Hyatt. Is it Devin Hyatt? Yeah, Devin Hyatt. Yeah. I mean, dude, I I'd love to see it, man. Trust me. How do you guys feel, by the way, about South Carolina going to a bowl game? Like, if they get invited and they have the opportunity to go, would you want them to go? Because at first, I was sort of torn on it. It's like, man, like we're beat up. Like, I don't want to see us lose again. But at the same time, like I've definitely changed my tune. Like, I really want to see us go to a bowl game. If we get invited, let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? Selfishly for me, I'd love another game to cover. I'd love another game to preview and break down and watch. But I mean, dude, win, lose, or draw, I love watching Carolina football. And especially if they're down there in Florida, God, who doesn't want an excuse? Who doesn't want an excuse to go down to Tampa or go down to Florida and experience the warm weather and kick it down in Florida? You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? Who cares? As long as we got enough dudes to field a team, you know what I mean? Because I know the COVID stuff and opt-outs and guys going pro. If we can field a team, let's go. Let's go. So, Savannah Webster, depends on where it is for me. Jacksonville's most recent predictions against Wake Forest. Really? Really? I did not know that. Where are you seeing that, Savannah Webster? I'd love to know. Where are you seeing that? I just haven't seen it. I haven't looked at any bowl predictions, to be honest with you. So apparently the word on the street is South Carolina should know after this weekend whether it's going to get invited to a bowl game. So like I said, I think if you get invited, especially if it's down there in Florida, dude, why not? Get your guys extra practice. You get a guy like Luke Doty, more development. Obviously, Shane Beamer wouldn't coach in the bowl game, but again, selfishly for me, I'd love another football game to cover. Personally, content, folks. Why not? So, why not? Why not? Because now you look, no basketball game tonight. The next basketball game is supposed to be what, Monday? And now you're dealing with COVID. I'm not even sure you're going to be able to play Monday. So if you don't play Monday, then your next one is Saturday against Clemson of next week. So, and here we go. Yep, here it is. Gamecock men's basketball update. How did I miss this? They canceled the George Washington game too. That's just fantastic. That is fantastic. God. Gosh darn it, man. 2020 strikes again. Jeez. Sorry, guys, just making this graphic for I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize it had been canceled. How did I not know? Gosh. Oh my goodness. That sucks. That really sucks, man. All right, let's go ahead and jump back to the phone lines. Hey, Parrish, what's going on, man? How you doing?
It's good, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm just hating that County basketball can't play a game because of COVID. So 2020 strikes again, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, we almost through, man. Couple more weeks, 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, I just want to commend you, man, on that Mark Ryan call, that little podcast you did a few days ago.
Yeah.
Man, I was listening to it. I was going crazy, man. Like it was just pissing me off because it's like I just feel like it's crazy how so many people have such an opinion on our coaching hire.
Yeah.
And a lot of their teams winning. You know what I'm saying? If you pay attention, it's really like Georgia and Clemson fans. I'm like, y'all already win. Why are y'all so focused on Carolina and y'all are already winning? It's like y'all don't want us to win, period. That's why I hope. And if, I don't want to take sports. I don't want our fans to take it too serious.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want us to get to a point, man, and I hope Shane Beamer feel how we feel too. Like, hey, suck those teams dry and never look back, because I don't want to ever forget the 2015 to 2020 era of us losing. I hope, you know what I'm saying, a couple more years we get to a point where we just win it consistently, and we never forget these laughing stock years right here. You know what I mean? It's just straight payback from here on out. I want Shane Beamer to instill that in our boys' head, man. Like, we don't ever want to lose again. Because, see, now we know how I feel like to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we don't ever want to lose again. Keep us going.
Oh, yeah. No, and I'll say this, too, about the because, I have people ask me, why would you go on Mark Ryan's show? He talks so much crap. And I view what Mark does differently, because I'm in that space, and in the sense of, like, I understand, I know when Mark is doing things just to bait people and piss people off, and he does a good job of it. I'll be totally honest. I mean, people give him crap, but that guy does a good job of pissing off everybody, and especially Gamecock fans. But the reason why I like going on there is because somebody's got to jab back at him and let him know how stupid some of his takes are. So, yeah, no, it's fun, man. I mean, I appreciate the opportunity to go on an ESPN affiliate and talk about my favorite team. And that was, being able to call Dabo Swinney a clown on ESPN radio is, that was pretty fun. That was fun. So, but yeah, man, I mean, I listen, I agree with you, man. And there's national perception on the hire. And I think the people, and everybody's going to have their own opinion. And if somebody wants to say that it wasn't a good hire, I mean, that's totally on them. It doesn't bother me. But I think a lot of the people, especially if they're just fans, if like you're just hearing Clemson fans or whoever say, oh, it's a terrible hire, it's a joke, they're like that's people that are just too lazy to do the digging on why it is a good hire. So, like, their opinion doesn't matter anyways. And that was kind of the point that I made on his show. I was like, why would I give a damn what Clemson fans think about this hire? I think Dabo's a clown. Do they care what I think? I thought it was a bad hire when they hired him. Did they care what I thought? Like, no. Why would I care what they think? So South Carolina just needs to worry about South Carolina. They don't need to worry about the opinion of, anybody. I said that during the search too. I said, if I could give one message to Tanner and Caslen and the board of trustees and the search committee and everybody, you're the ones behind closed doors doing the interviews. If you sit down with Shane Beamer, I don't give a damn about his lack of head coaching experience. If you sit down with Shane Beamer and from your conversations, you feel like he's the best guy, you pull the trigger. It doesn't matter what Clemson fans think or the national media thinks. Who gives a damn? Now if you want to, I'll tell you this, if you want to debate with me that South Carolina should have went and hired a guy like a Hugh Freeze, or should have thrown the money at Urban Meyer, I don't know if they did or not, or should have thrown the money at Bob Stoops or something like that, that's an argument I'll listen to. But the people who are like saying it's a bad hire and it's like you should have went and got Billy Napier or Jamie Chadwell, what are we talking about? Like, we're splitting hairs, dude. Like, those other two guys, there's nothing that says they would have succeeded here. No more than Shane Beamer, in my personal opinion. I understand they've both won as head coaches, but that success they've had, which is great for them, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Like, in my opinion, I don't think so. So, like, that's why, like, if, again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you're a South Carolina fan even, and you think it was a bad hire, you're entitled to that opinion. But I would challenge you to do some digging and give me reasons why it's a bad hire other than he's never been a head coach before. Give me something else. Like, it's just so tired. It's so overused. Do some research and give me something else why you think it's a bad hire. And listen, again, I will not knock a Gamecock fan for feeling skeptical or feeling nervous or worried that this hire won't work out because of he hasn't been a head coach. And like I said, every candidate has pros and cons, though. If you're going to roll the dice, why would you not roll the dice with the guy who has been in Columbia? He understands this fan base. He understands this program. He knows what it takes. He's seen this program at its heights. He knows what it takes to get back there. Why would you not roll the dice with that guy?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. So one more question. What do you, because, just after that DJ Swearinger interview you had, which I think to me, it's between that one and Vic Hampton, probably your top two for me.
Yeah, those were awesome for sure.
But I went back and watched someone like those old, just just our mentality on the defensive side. Do you think is it well, really two questions. One, do you think it's possible to have that same defensive tenacity in today's football? Because, a lot of them hits back then on the low were kind of like, you might consider them, because I find that the targeting rule, it makes kids, it makes them kind of hesitant about how they should hit somebody. You know what I'm saying, for attacking goal.
Yeah.
And number two, like, do you think our team will once have that defensive bond and that defensive dog mentality? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think Shane Beamer is capable of instilling that in our guys?
Yeah. No, and listen, I think you can still have that, but I'll tell you, Parrish, to your point, there's a reason why the game is so offensive now. All of the rules favor offense. The athletes on the offensive side have gotten better. The offenses have evolved. Like, again, the more spread up tempo, it's harder to defend. And yeah, like you're saying, I mean, a lot of those, DJ Swearinger was victim of some of the, he remember when he got suspended for the Missouri game because he clocked that dude in the UAB game, which was a great hit, but they called it targeting. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. We'll see. But, I definitely think you can bring that tenacity back and play with that edge and play with that attitude. And you just have to be smart about it. It's a controlled aggression. You know what I mean? And I think DJ Swearinger, I think he did that. I mean, he certainly had his moments. And, I don't know if you remember when I had Brad Lawing on the show, but we talked about that exact story when DJ Swearinger, the hit against Andre Ellington and laid him out and got in his face and screamed. And Brad Lawing said with certain guys, you got to know when to let them go and when to get on them. And Brad Lawing was about to chew out DJ Swearinger for getting that penalty. And Steve Spurrier pulled him back, said, no, let him go. Like, let him go. Let him do his thing. That's who he is. And obviously, again, it turned out to be one of the most iconic pictures and moments in Gamecock football history, I'd probably say. But, you want guys to play with that controlled aggression. And so I think, to answer your question, yes, you can bring that intensity and that energy back to the defense. Again, though, I think the point you're making is why you have to have a good offense in this game of college football now. You're not going to win games 24-21. You got to be scoring 35 plus a game. Offenses are just too good. You know what I mean? But certainly you can bring back that tenacity, that intensity, 110%. There's no reason why you can't. So.
All right. Well, shoot. Hey, appreciate your insight, Chris, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the call, Parrish. Always a pleasure.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
So thanks so much, man. Take care. Yeah, great stuff. 843-790-3377, guys, if you do want to call in. Tyler Knoll saying, how about this? I didn't know this. Jamie Robinson out, was seen moving all his stuff out of 650 Lincoln today per people on Twitter. That sucks if true. He could have been a big leader next year. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's going to happen, right? Like, there's going to be guys that transfer. Like, I don't know if, I I genuinely don't know if or how many it's going to be. I don't know. I don't know how many it's going to be, but there's going to be guys that transfer. And I don't know when they're going to announce this type of stuff or whatever, but so I have no idea. Let's see. Somebody asked, Joseph, I can't believe Clem Sucks hasn't brought up Beamer's incident with the opponent's playbook. Dude, it doesn't even. I knew about it. I don't even care. It's a tiny violation. It is what it is. Like, whatever. Oh, well. Lance Player, the whiteboard today is too damn funny. My man getting paid. Yeah. Muschamp is getting paid, my guy. He is getting paid. So, Fred Jenkins, Shaw, quarterback coach, Lattimore, running back coach. Who else? I don't know if Lattimore will be in that position. I'd love to see it. I definitely think Shaw will be back as quarterback's coach, though. I think 110%. Jerry Withrow, I want to say thank you so much for the love and the support, man. I appreciate that. Glad you enjoy the podcast. I enjoy doing them, so thank you. Lance Player, you heard about Darian Stewart retiring and coming to Columbia to help Beamer turn it around. Let me see. Yeah, so somebody did send me a link. Apparently that's something that just dropped. Let's see. From Mike Yuva. Former Gamecock Darian Stewart sells Watch Fox. He'll be retiring from the NFL. Would love the opportunity to work with Coach Shane Beamer to help turn things around with Gamecock football. Yeah, would love it. That'd be awesome. Somebody else texted in. Who are the front runners for OC and DC right now? Also love the show. Thank you so much for the love. As far as I know, the leaders are still Garrett Riley and Barry Odom, but dude, I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. So. Let's see. God, I hate the basketball game. Another basketball game gets canceled. Just unreal. Let's see. Let's go back to the phone lines here. Yo, what's going on, man? How are you?
I was doing good. Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, great to chat with you.
So basically, get a little bit off the football for a minute. The basketball, it's going to be kind of hard to make that tournament run now that we basically needed all these conference games we needed. We got 3, lost 2. We're losing a bunch more. I don't see it happening this year, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you hate to lose these non-conference games. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird because I mean, South Carolina's not the only team that's being affected. I mean, a lot of teams are having to deal with this, so I don't know what that'll mean at the end of the year, how it'll shake out, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. It's how can you judge this South Carolina basketball team if they can't even play all their games? So I still like this team. I like the roster. I think it can be a really good team. All you can do is cross your fingers and hope and pray you can play all your conference games, or maybe you can reschedule these games. Or I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's kind of tough to say. I still really like the roster, but yeah, I mean, if you can't play, it's going to be tough to make a run to get in the tournament for sure. So
yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Not gonna keep you too long. How you feel about the baseball team with Kingston?
Yeah, I really like the team. Unfortunately wasn't able to get out to any of the fall scrimmages, which I hated, was terrible. But we're all waiting anxiously on the actual schedule to drop. But no, I mean, I like this team. And from guys I've talked to, I had both of the D1 baseball guys on over the summer, and they told me they feel like this is the best roster South Carolina baseball's had since 2012, if that tells you anything. So I think the roster is really good. Now, with that being said, the SEC is really, really good, really good. So South Carolina could have a really good team and go 500 in conference play. I mean, that's how tough the SEC is. But I think this will be a fun team to watch. I think this is by far Kingston's best team. You look at the arms they have with Farr and Jordan as your Friday, Saturday, and honestly, I'm not even adding in all the arms they brought in. They've got a guy named Mag Cotto's a lefty throwing 95 miles an hour. You have power arms. I mean, South Carolina has a lot more power arms than they've had in years. So I'll tell you this, without a doubt, I see South Carolina, my predictions for them will probably be hosting a regional. I think that's the quality of team this is. I think they should host a regional. Anything less than the postseason, I mean, that will be a massive failure if you don't make the postseason. Now, I think, because I'm still a Kingston guy. I'm very much a Kingston guy. I like Mark Kingston. I'm not on the whole, some fans are saying fire. Now, I don't believe that. I like Kingston. I think he's a baseball man. I think he's a good baseball coach. But if you miss the postseason this year, I mean, that'll just be flat out unacceptable. You have good players. You have really, really good players. So I'm really excited. I think the hitting will be solid, but I think for the first time in a while, the Gamecocks finally have the arms to go out there and realistically compete in the SEC week after week after week. So, or weekend after weekend, if you will. So now I'm excited for baseball, man. I'm really pumped for baseball.
Yeah. It's crazy how when you think about how we've been talking about South Carolina, the legacy kind of disappeared in football. It kind of did a little bit in baseball too. I mean, you had one of the greatest teams of all time, and I mean, you can almost argue it's starting that way in basketball, going to the Final Four.
Right.
I mean, you just had these crews of guys, and then all of a sudden it disappears. I mean, the same thing happened to LSU this year. You lose 22 players to the draft, and then all of a sudden, your culture just changes. We've had that happen in every single sport in the past decade, and it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, and I would say this too, though. I mean, the thing is this. That run South Carolina had from 2010 to 2012, that might not ever happen again. I mean, that was insane. Yeah. I mean, that like, when you look at Chad, and I'm not saying Chad Holbrook shouldn't have been let go or whatever. Like, when you look at Chad Holbrook's body of work, it wasn't like they were terrible. You know what I mean? Like, now they had a few really bad years. I mean, 17 was brutal. But then you look at 2017, you lost everybody to injury. I mean, if you go, I challenge you to go back and look at that roster from that 2017 baseball team. It's insane. I mean, we're talking Clark Schmidt, big leaguer, Will Crow, big leaguer, Adam Hill, probably going to be a big leaguer. So that's your weekend rotation. I mean, but what doomed Chad Holbrook was in-game decisions. And again, finally, that 2017 year being the final nail in the coffin. When I remember, they were ranked 4th in the country in the preseason. That staff was regarded as maybe the best pitching staff to ever come through South Carolina. And again, Clark Schmidt gets hurt. You lose Tyler Johnson, your closer, to an injury, who just made the 40-man roster with the Chicago White Sox. Like, they had hella talent. Like, they had an insane amount of talent on that team. But and then Mark Kingston takes over, and again, he goes to the Supers in his first year. He misses the postseason in his second, and again, injuries strike. And then we don't know what would happen in 2020. So, I think here's the difference. You talk about like how that has changed, I guess, with all the sports. When I look at South Carolina football, they've genuinely lost like the culture and the standard. The standard for Carolina baseball has gone nowhere. The standard is getting to Omaha. That is the bottom line. Now, granted, you have to be realistic if you're a Gamecock football or baseball fan, because you're not going to get to Omaha every year. So you're just not. You're not going to get it's people don't realize how hard it is to be one of the last 8 to get to Omaha. Like, the postseason in baseball is so hard. It's so hard. So, you've got to continue to, making the postseason in general. That's the minimum expectation for South Carolina. You can't miss the postseason. I agree 110%. But I think the standard for Carolina baseball is still there. You've just got, you had that couple year stretch where you just had to get the players. I mean, call it for what it is, man. I've had these guys on my show too, like a guy like, Reed Morgan, or you have other guys on, but like when you lose your frontline starter in Carmen Majinski like you did in 2019, and you're going out there on a Friday and your guy, let's just call it for what it is, your guy's throwing 90, 91, and you're facing Emerson Hancock, who's throwing 97 and 98. Bro, you're just behind the 8 ball, bro. You got to have the arms, and South Carolina, for whatever reason, just didn't have the arms. I think this year, first time in a while, South Carolina realistically, truly has the arms to go out there weekend after weekend and go toe-to-toe with the best teams in the country, which all reside in the SEC. So, again, South Carolina might be really good this year and go 15-15 in conference. That's just how good the conference is. So, I find it funny because South Carolina fans, they hold baseball to this insane standard, but then you had those same people with football saying, oh, give Muschamp another year. I'm like, pick one. What is it? Like, what is the expectation? Like, why is baseball held to this ridiculous standard, but football is not held to any more than let's just make a bowl game? You know what I mean? Like, so, but no, anyways, I'm excited for baseball, man. I think the standard for Carolina baseball is still there. Very proud tradition. But you got to see it pan out this year, no doubt, because you got the guys. There's no excuse this year. I mean, you've recruited well. You finally have some power arms. You've got some really good guys coming back. Brennan Malone, Brady Allen, Wes Clark. You're going to have a good lineup. You know what I mean? So I'm excited, man. I'm really excited for Carolina baseball for sure. So.
All right, man. Last question is really more of a request. I got 3 people I think would be great interviews for you. Number 1 being Sidney Rice. I know you remember him. Name on the Spiral. What a legend. Tannehill from back in the day. That could be for your older guys. Quarterback. You know, when he came down to Clemson and hit the home run on the Paul. Legendary. I mean, I'm too young to remember it, but I watched the game back. It's a stellar game. And last one is Jackie Bradley. I mean, Gamecock legend there. I think any of those guys, I think people would like to see that.
Yeah, no. So I actually had Tannehill on the show. I think it was last summer, but trust me, bro.
Really?
Any Gamecock great that you mentioned, I've DM'd them. I'm trying. So it is not that I don't want to talk to Jackie Bradley Jr. Trust me. Jackie's a guy. I know somebody that knows him, and they said during the season he obviously shuts it all off, focuses on baseball, and then I've heard in the off season, he's a big family guy, so he really doesn't do media. I'm trying to somehow find a way to get that. And then, yes, Sidney Rice just haven't been able to really get in touch with him. So, yeah, no, those would be fantastic combos and great interviews. Good suggestions for sure. So,
oh yeah, man, I have to go back and find that Tannehill one.
Yeah, that one's probably June or July of 2019. So, I mean, it was a little bit ago, but did have him on the show. It was an awesome combo. It was a great conversation. So. But
yeah, he's a swag guy. Wouldn't be mad if he came back on the stats. He's
an
old legend.
Yeah.
We've got the new guys. We've got Connor Shaw, the people like my father and the people of old. That's their guy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. We'll see it happen. But hey, man, gonna jump on this other call. Appreciate you.
Call phone.
Hey, John, what's going on, man?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I just want to comment about Darian Stewart.
Yeah, for sure.
I think so. Would he be on the staff like as an advisor, or would he be positioned basically?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, I think he probably, what it sounds like, he'd be willing to come back and help in any capacity. But I mean, obviously, I think that'd be awesome. I mean, absolutely awesome. So I'm sure that's a conversation he and Beamer would have. I don't know, what specifically what the what his role would be. But, I do that. I think that's a must. You have to do that. I mean, an NFL guy, you talk about for like recruiting too, man, like an NFL dude, like huge. That's huge. So.
Yeah, I still remember him, like, not that he didn't have a great career at Carolina, but is like the main thing people I think of with him is the hit against Ole Miss way back. And like, I don't even remember like what that Ole Miss game was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he had a great career at South Carolina, was one of the better defenders. I think probably really underrated, to be honest with you. So, no, yeah, dude. I mean, as many of these great Gamecocks as you can get back in the building, I think it's nothing but a positive. I really do. I think it's nothing but a positive for South Carolina. So.
Oh, yeah, totally. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, that's all I wanted to say. I hope we can find a role for Darian to have him back. It'd be awesome.
All right, yeah, no, for sure. I'd love to see the same. It's going to be interesting to see over the next few weeks how things evolve in regards to the coaching staff and who they bring back. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really do. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Me too. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much.
Good.
All right, brother. Take care. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate the call, guys. We got about 5 minutes left. Maybe we can squeeze in one more call, 843-790-3377. HML 31 Gaming would love to see Debo on the show. I would as well. Trust me. I've DM'd him and just haven't been able to make it work for whatever reason. But let's see. Joseph says, I know you don't want to put a cap on the team, but max possibilities for the baseball team this year. I mean, I think they're a team that could make it to Omaha. Like, I think they have the talent. I'm just saying I'm not going in with that expectation. I think getting back to a super regional is very realistic. Very, very realistic. So, did the OU game get canceled? Trent Strickland. Did the OU game get canceled? I did not see that. God, am I missing like everything today? I feel like I'm behind in everything. Jeez, I got to get better. Yeah, I see that 22 minutes ago. Yeah, it did. They got canceled. Mm-hmm. Let's see, guys. Got about 5 minutes left. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate the love, support. Ritter says Kingston's on the hot seat in my eyes. I don't say hot seat. Like the guys has had 2.25 seasons. One of them you made the supers, one of them you missed the postseason. And I think this past season, I think South Carolina would have made a run and made the postseason. So, I don't say he's on the hot seat, but you just have the talent to win. The pressure's always on with South Carolina baseball. I mean, it's never not. And that's what makes the job and the program great. So, Tyler Noel, love the fact that Darian has said he would love to come back. These guys clearly want Carolina football to be great again. I agree. It's great to see. It's great to see. So, Phil Harris, Shane is hitting Zoom hard right now with the OU game canceled. Go get him, Shane. Yeah, indeed. I guess maybe it's an advantage for us. Heck, I don't know. I don't see why he wouldn't come back to Columbia. Touchdowns, home runs, 2020 awards, best loss. Best loss for the Gamecocks this season. I mean, are any of them great? Are any of them good? Maybe Florida, I guess. I guess that was I don't know. It's hard to I don't know that I can really pinpoint the best loss of the season. Somebody says, how do I get a t-shirt? TSUS.store. Also, I'll be posting the new shirts. We came out with the Shane Storm shirts, the garnet and black versions. I'll be posting those on social media here later this afternoon. But TSUS.store, made it as simple as I possibly could. Ole Miss got Muschamp fired. Yeah, I guess that was the best loss. Andrew Bowers, wasn't it Darian Stewart that had the big hit versus Cam Newton in the NFL? Yes, about took his head off. So, Brian Welch, Ole Miss lost, got Muschamp's bags packed. So, yeah, no, I mean, I guess you're right. I guess you're definitely right. That's a very good point. It's a very, very good point. Brandon Prothman says, how about a Beamtown shirt? I've also heard Beam Team. Some people have said Beam Team would be cool. I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me, would Beam Team be a cool thing? I'm not really familiar with what Beam Team is. Like, is that a thing or? There's also a business called Beam Team, so I don't know if that'd be a great idea. Great idea. So. Travis Ford just tuning in. Any staff developments? Nothing concrete. Darian Stewart has voiced, former Gamecocks great, that he'd like to come back and help on Shane Beamer's staffs, but nothing concrete other than that. So, Angela Bonds Cromer, Kevin Harris, team MVP. Yes, that was a given. Kevin picked up many of the awards in today's award show. Very good. But yeah, I'd love to have Darian Stewart back around the program in any capacity. It'd be great. It'd be awesome. So. Be absolutely awesome. But yeah, again, guys, if you have not done so, check out the podcast drop this morning, episode 336, the 2020 TSUS postseason award show. I mean, I literally gave out awards for everything. Team MVP, offensive and defense players of the year, rookie of the year, comeback player of the year, best moment, best game, best guest. We just went down the entire list. Really, really fun stuff to hand out some awards because, again, you think to yourself, Chris, you went 2-8. Are there a lot of awards to give? Believe it or not, yes. There were some really good individual performers in the 2020 season, even though it was kind of a train wreck. But no, yeah, really, really fun show. And also my buddy Tyler McComas, who I know you guys aren't familiar with him, but he's in the Norman, Oklahoma market. Big 12 guy, big Oklahoma guy, very familiar with Gamecocks' new head coach, Shane Beamer. So I get his full take on Shane Beamer while he's been at OU, the characteristics of him as a coach, what he's going to bring to Columbia, his recruiting prowess, all that good stuff. Really, really good conversation. Suggest you guys definitely check it out. We got about 30 seconds, though. Again, thank you guys so much for the love, support, buying the merchandise. Again, we got some really big things in the works behind the scenes, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So I'm excited. I'm excited for 2021. Honestly, my mind is kind of like I'm already thinking about 2021 and setting goals and kind of planning things as far as content and merchandise and all that good stuff. But guys, thank you so much for the love, support. Again, none of this would be possible without you. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll do it again tomorrow, noon to 1. We'll do it again tomorrow, noon to 1, and then all next week, of course. You guys know the drill, Monday through Friday, noon to 1. Thanks so much. Thank you for the calls, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll do it again tomorrow. Thanks.